everyone, Novels Wonderland here. Thank you all for the love and support you've shown me and the channel.
Multiverse starting with Cursed Spirit Manipulation, Chapter 135 to 142, 135. My property, nobody else gets to look. What kind of nonsense are you spouting this early in the morning? Mai snapped. Kai smirked at her flustered reaction. I said I'd show you what I'm capable of. I never said I was going to do anything to you. Don't tell me your imagination ran wild again, my senpai. He clicked his tongue and shook his head, pretending to be disappointed. Who would have guessed? Beneath that glamorous celebrity exterior lies an absolute degenerate. You're the degenerate. The more he talked, the redder her face became. She couldn't take it any more and snapped back, her cheeks burning. It was clear now that he enjoyed teasing people. Wait a second. He wasn't going to do anything to me, but he was going to show me his capabilities. Mai wasn't clueless. She had dealt with the tough world of show business since she was a kid. Getting through all that took quick thinking. She figured it out right away. You really are an unapologetic scumbag. Her assessment of him last night was dead on. He was a complete player. Aside from Sakiko Tagawa, he definitely had other girls in his rotation. And judging by his brazen attitude, Sakiko probably knew about it too. I'm not denying it, Kai shrugged, not looking an ounce guilty. He always thought of himself as honest. In his last life, he followed all the rules and ended up as a miserable, empty office worker. Now, with a second chance and special powers, he wanted to enjoy life. Otherwise, what was the point of being reborn? Seeing him act proud of being called a scumbag left Mai speechless. Aren't you afraid it'll all blow up in your face? What's there to be afraid of? I have needs. As long as I keep them all thoroughly satisfied, why would anything blow up? If she had heard a line like that yesterday, she would have rolled her eyes in disgust. Satisfied? Do you think you're some kind of perpetual motion machine? But now she couldn't even get the insult out. After seeing what he could do last night, she couldn't argue. When it came to stamina, he really was a monster. Mai let out a breath and then decided to let it go. Talking about his love life felt like sinking into quicksand. Anyway, now that we're done messing around, can we finally talk about my condition? That was her only priority. Enduring this choking invisibility, where Kai was her soul tethered to reality, was pushing her sanity to the brink. Are you sure you want me to fix it right now? Kai asked, his eyes scanning over her outfit with a questioning look. What's wrong? Being scrutinized like that made her squirm. She glanced down at herself, wondering if she had missed something. Are you positive you want the general public to suddenly see you parading around in a bunny suit? She was still wearing the revealing outfit. Kai had some of Sakiko's clothes at his place, but Mai refused to borrow them, especially after seeing what happened on that couch last night. Just thinking about it made her skin crawl. Or does my senpai actually have a secret exhibitionist kink? The jab made her cough to hide her embarrassment. Don't be ridiculous. There was no way she would ever be into something so shameless. Now she understood what he meant. Then I'll just go home and change first. But after shooting him a mild glare, a devious thought crossed her mind. She flashed him a teasing smirk. Don't tell me my dear Junior is actually getting jealous. Do you want to keep this view all to yourself? You can't stand the thought of other guys looking at me, can you? She teased him, sure he would get embarrassed or try to defend himself. But as expected, she was disappointed. Meeting her gaze head-on, Kai didn't hesitate for a fraction of a second. Of course I don't want anyone else seeing you like this. She expected him to get flustered, but his honest answer surprised her. Suddenly she felt self-conscious and looked away. What kind of nonsense are you spouting now? It's not nonsense, Kai answered right away. My senpai is my personal property now. I won't let anyone else see you dressed like this. He moved a step closer. In other words, if anyone besides me caught a glimpse of you in that outfit, I wouldn't show them any mercy. His calm voice had a clear, commanding tone. That steady strength made Mai's heart skip a beat. So controlling. She grumbled, but deep down, she felt a strange thrill. Many Japanese girls admired strong men, and Mai was no different. She had seen Kai defeat the slit-mouthed woman last night. His powers were beyond anything she could imagine. Still, I don't remember agreeing to be yours, she said, acting stubborn as usual. She looked away, not wanting to seem too easy by giving in. Kai raised a brow at her rebellion. He shot her a loaded, meaningful look. His intense stare made her squirm again. Did she say something wrong? I just wanted to remind you that I'm the one who decides things here. All you have to do is listen. This guy is unbelievably arrogant. After saying his piece, Kai turned and walked away, not caring about her reaction. Frustrated, Mai raised her fists and threw a few pretend punches at his back to let out her annoyance. Obnoxious jerk. But the most annoying thing was that she didn't feel disgusted or uncomfortable by how possessive he was. In fact, she actually liked it. Wait for me. Mai quickly jogged to catch up with him. Anyway, I just need to change clothes, right? Alright, then I'm heading home first. Now that she had a plan, she headed for her apartment. She couldn't stand being so isolated any longer. Since she was invisible, buying new clothes wasn't possible, and she wasn't desperate enough to steal. If she was, she wouldn't have gone hungry for days. Kai didn't stop her. But she only made it a few steps before turning around and walking back to Kai. Her face was bright red, as if she had just remembered something really embarrassing. Don't tell me you miss me already. Kai asked. Of course not. She snapped, instantly defensive. It's just. When he saw her hesitate and shuffle her feet in embarrassment, he suddenly realized what was going on. Let me guess. You lost your keys. Her face turned even redder. It was embarrassing, but she nodded. She had no idea where she lost her keys. If she still had them, she could have eaten at home instead of going hungry for days. You really showed how much of a mature adult you are, my senpai, Kai laughed, clearly enjoying her embarrassment. It was an accident. Every 400 horsepower equals bonus chapter. 15 advanced chapters available on Patreon. https://p-atreon.com/dragons. Just remove the hyphen to access Patreon normally. Chapter 136, Amusement Park. Detective Conan. 1078 words, forget it. Just stick with me for now. We'll head to your place after school, Kai said. Well, if you insist, I suppose. Before Mai could finish her sentence, Kai was already walking away at a brisk pace. Wait for me. This man lacks even a shred of gentlemanly grace. Doesn't he know how to treat a lady? Then again, she mused, if Kai acted like a typical, polite guy, she probably wouldn't find him interesting. She smirked and jogged to catch up. Mai had been a little curious about how Kai acted at school. She figured he would be totally different from the powerful sorcerer she saw last night. But after just 10 minutes, she already wanted to unsee what she'd witnessed. As soon as Kai sat down in the classroom, Yui Yokohama and Yumiko Miura were right by his side. Out of Yui's view, Yumiko quietly slid her hand over to touch his under the desk. Yui didn't notice a thing, but Mai, sitting across from them, saw everything. Scumbag, Mai spat. Kai maintained a perfectly composed expression, casually enjoying the attention of two gorgeous girls at once. Keeping his options open while stringing them along, he was a textbook player. Too bad no one else in the classroom could see or hear her. She could scream it at the top of her lungs and receive zero reaction. As for Kai, he didn't give a damn. He was entirely absorbed in the company of the two beauties. This jerk. Watching him enjoy all the attention and ignore her insults left Mai speechless. But considering his adamantium-thick skin, expecting him to care about her opinion was a fool's errand. Still, she wasn't really angry. She'd seen much worse in the entertainment world. This was nothing. Her frustration came from somewhere else. Last night, he'd pushed her against a wall and kissed her. Now he was acting like a perfect gentleman with these girls. Did he not like her anymore? She felt a strange, bitter mix of emotions. Realizing where her thoughts were going, Mai quickly slapped her cheeks to snap herself out of it. What the hell am I thinking? She didn't need this guy's attention. While she tried to calm herself down, Mai didn't notice the quick look Kai gave her. He saw how flustered she was and couldn't help but smirk a little. He thought teenage girls were easy to read. He wasn't in a hurry with Mai. He figured she would be his eventually. Right then, Kai noticed someone staring at him. He turned his head and locked eyes with Hina Ebina. He caught a flicker of conflict swimming in her gaze. Startled out of her daze, Hina jumped. And nothing. Hina frantically averted her eyes. Kai didn't push the issue. He vaguely remembered her another anime heroine, and a certified beauty. She was also the girl Kakeru Tobe used to have a huge crush on. But after the cursed spirit, Tobe's interests had completely changed. There was no chance he'd go after her now. Kai looked across the room. Tobe was stuck to Hayato Hayama's side, and they were almost never apart. He clearly wasn't interested in Hina anymore. The rest of the class had no idea about the supernatural stuff. They just thought the boys were being extra friendly. No one guessed the real reason. Oh right. Kai, let's go to the amusement park this weekend. Yumiko suddenly suggested. I heard a new one just opened in Tokyo called Tropical Land. It's supposed to be amazing. We should all go. I've hardly ever been to an amusement park. Yui's eyes lit up with excitement. Yui's family was a little different. They were pretty comfortable, but her mom was the only one working. Her dad died in an accident when she was young, so her mom raised her alone. She could only remember going to an amusement park once as a kid. Getting to go now, especially with her boyfriend, felt really special. If you want to go, let's go, Kai agreed, smiling as he gently ruffled her hair. Tropical Land. The name triggered a cascade of memories. It sounded really familiar. If he remembered right, that was where Shinichi Kudo from Detective Conan was given a pill and turned into Conan Edogawa. That's how the whole series started. So this crossover world had Detective Conan in it too. He hadn't checked before. But thinking about how weird the Conan timeline was, with snow one day and summer the next, or summer break starting right after the semester began, he wondered if that chaos would show up here too. It was a funny idea. Yui cheered, her face splitting into a radiant smile at his confirmation. I'll book the tickets right now. Yumiko announced, already tapping rapidly on her phone screen. Right now. The weekend is still a few days away, Kai pointed out. You have no idea, Yumiko sighed, clearly frustrated. Tropical Land is super popular right now. Everyone wants to go. If we don't book early, we won't get tickets. Kai nodded in understanding. As Yumiko worked on booking tickets, Kai looked over his shoulder and saw Hina sitting a row behind them. Her face was slowly falling into disappointment. Book 4 tickets instead, Kai instructed. 4 tickets. Yumiko blinked at him in confusion. Kai, Yui, and herself made 3. Why did they need an extra? Was someone else coming? Idiot, Kai shot her a deadpan look. Did you forget there's another member of your clique sitting right behind you? Yumiko suddenly realized what she'd done. She quickly turned and met Hina's eyes. Since Hina was right behind them, she'd heard all their excited plans. Of course she'd want to come too. It wasn't really about the rides, it was about not being left out. Even though Yumiko acted bossy and like the queen bee, she was very loyal and had a big heart. She always treated Yui and Hina the same. Sorry. Hina, you have to come with us this weekend. Will I be intruding? Hina asked, surprised to be included. She wanted to go but looked from Yumiko to Kai, worried she'd end up as an awkward third or fourth wheel on their date. Every 400 horsepower equals bonus chapter. 15 advanced chapters available on Patreon. https://p-atreon.com/dragons. Just remove the hyphen to access Patreon normally. Chapter 137, Aren't You Afraid? 1350 words. Of course not. Yui Yokohama, finally catching on to the situation, immediately intervened. She bounced over to Hina Ebina, cheerfully wrapping her arms around the girl's sleeve. We're good friends. There's no way you'd be intruding. Yui didn't want her friend to feel awkward, so she jumped in and invited her right away. Exactly, Hina. Come with us. Yumiko Miura also agreed, flashing her a warm smile. Then. I'll take you up on that. Hina gave in after seeing how really excited Yui and Yumiko were. For a moment, her eyes showed just how grateful she felt. Thank goodness. I haven't been completely pushed out. She peeked quickly at Kai. She knew exactly what had happened. If Kai hadn't said something, Yui and Yumiko might not have remembered to invite her. Catching Hina's intense stare, Kai simply offered a soothing smile. That small gesture made Hina look down at the floor, too embarrassed to meet his eyes. Joining Yumiko and Yui in this wouldn't be so bad. Kai is very talented and handsome. It's not like I'd be losing out, right? While Hina struggled with her thoughts, Mai Sakurajima's voice sounded in Kai's ear again. Another innocent girl is about to fall into your trap. I shouldn't have expected anything less from you. She spoke with obvious sarcasm. Mai had an up-close view of the furious blush spreading on Hina's face. If she couldn't read the obvious signs of a crush, her years of surviving the entertainment industry would have been for nothing. Kai didn't even look at Mai. He ignored her sarcasm and kept pretending not to notice anything. Sensing a subtle shift under the desk, he smoothly caught Yumiko's wrist. Glancing over to ensure Yui was still blissfully oblivious, he leaned in and whispered into Yumiko's ear, "You're getting bolder by the minute, aren't you?" Yumiko's secret touches were getting bolder. If they weren't in a crowded classroom, Kai would have dealt with her teasing right away. Then hurry up and get Yui to accept the arrangement. Yumiko was incredibly satisfied with his reaction. This was exactly the response she wanted to provoke. She whispered back into his ear. If Yui knew the truth and accepted it, Yumiko wouldn't have to sneak around and play coy anymore. I'll eat you up sooner or later. She's getting impatient, Kai thought with a quiet laugh. He pulled back and quickly returned to acting like a serious, model student. Yumiko let out a soft huff at his rapid switch. Still deep down, she loved the difference. Watching him act polite in public but mischievous with her in private was exciting. During the lunch break, Kai walked to the service club, with Mai following close behind. As expected, she saw a whole group of girls waiting in the clubroom. Mai took a sharp breath. She stared at Kai in shock. I thought I was exaggerating about how much of a scumbag you are, but I actually didn't give you enough credit. How does he even keep up with so many girls? Luckily, Kai couldn't hear what she was thinking. If he could, he'd probably want to show her just how good he was at managing his time. By the way, the family dinner is scheduled for tomorrow night. Don't forget, Yukino Shida suddenly spoke up. She dabbed her mouth with a napkin, feigning complete nonchalance as she addressed Kai. Tomorrow night? Kai hadn't forgotten her invitation. All right, got it. He didn't have any serious plans for tomorrow evening anyway, so attending wasn't an issue. When he agreed so easily, Yukino gave a gentle smile. But wait. Kai looked up, his eyes playful. Since this is a formal Yukino Shida family dinner, what am I supposed to be? Or something else? He looked at her, waiting for her answer. As a friend, obviously. Yukino stammered. She awkwardly turned her head, suddenly finding it impossible to meet his gaze. After all the time they'd spent together, Yukino was no longer the distant ice queen she used to be. Without noticing, Kai had helped her open up. And here I thought I was going as your boyfriend. What are you talking about? Yukino jumped up, her face turning bright red. Kai teased her a lot, but he didn't usually say things this direct. Era. Sitting next to Megumi Kato, Marin Kitagawa giggled in delight at Yukino's flustered reaction. I honestly thought our club president and Kaikuin were already dating. I guess I was wrong. Since when? Am I dating Kai? Why didn't I know? Even though she tried to sound defensive, a bit of hope slipped into her voice. You aren't. Marin tilted her head, studying Yukino's reaction for a moment before flashing a wicked grin. In that case, I actually really like Kaikuin myself. Leaning over, Marin boldly wrapped her arms around one of Kai's arms. If the president isn't interested in him, do you mind if I make a move? Yukino fired back instantly, without a single second of delay. But as soon as she said it, she saw Marin's amused look. Yukino stammered, not sure how to explain herself. All right, that's enough, Megumi finally intervened. Shaking her head helplessly, she walked over and pulled Marin off Kai. Sorry about that, President. Marin is just messing with you. I know you want to help Kai out, Megumi thought, but you're moving way too quickly. Yukino isn't someone you can win over that easily. As she was dragged away, Marin unabashedly flashed a peace sign at Yukino, playing off her bold move as nothing more than a fun prank. No matter what Marin meant, Megumi's help was a huge relief. Yukino let out a long sigh and gave Megumi a grateful look. Without her, Yukino wouldn't have known how to get out of that situation. But when Yukino saw Kai, the one who started all this, sitting there acting innocent, she rolled her eyes. Wicked jerk. Who do you think caused this mess in the first place? Kai just smiled. He had to admit, seeing Yukino flustered and blushing was really cute. By the way, Kai suddenly turned his attention to Hidori Goto, who was sitting quietly on the side. When is your band's first live performance, Bachi? Hidori was easy to please. For her, just knowing Kai remembered her and cared enough to ask was more than enough. The live performance is next week. Next week. We'll all be there to support you when the time comes. Even after all this time, Hitori's social anxiety had barely improved. Kai was curious to see what kind of music she would play on stage now. Yeah. We'll definitely be there. I really want to hear Hidori play too. Marin and the other girls immediately chimed in, showering Hidori with enthusiastic support. Hearing her friends cheer her on filled Hidori with tenderness and made her even more determined. I must do a fantastic performance. I can't fail my friends. And most certainly, I mustn't let Kaikuin down. How much longer are you going to ignore me? After school, while they walked home, Mai finally lost her patience. She leaned close to Kai's ear and yelled. Being ignored all day had been torture. Can't be helped. Kai shrugged, finally stopping his act and paying attention to her. As you can see, Mai senpai, most of my time goes to my lovely girlfriends. I don't really have time for anything else. He says that with so much pride. Girlfriends. That was the key word. If she hadn't seen it herself, Mai would never have believed someone as shameless as Kai could exist. Aren't you afraid one of them is going to snap and take a meat cleaver to you one of these days? She demanded, referencing the infamous school days ending. I'm a jujitsu sorcerer, remember. Every 400 horsepower equals bonus chapter. 15 advanced chapters available on Patreon. https://p-atreon.com/dragons. Just remove the hyphen to access Patreon normally. Chapter 138, 138, Relax, Just hearing the sound is enough. 1431 words in short, a jujitsu sorcerer had nothing to fear from a jealous girlfriend with a meat cleaver. Kai showed no sign of guilt. He just grinned, looking smug, and my Sakurajima was left speechless. She gave up. Considering how shameless he was, this kind of thing was normal for him. Mai's apartment was close by, but it wasn't the huge, fancy house you might expect from a top idol. It was just a regular detached home in a calm suburb. Disappointed. Catching him observing the modest exterior, Mai broke the silence. I didn't say a word. Kai shrugged. He wasn't just placating her. Besides, for a massive celebrity like you, living somewhere flashy would just put a target on your back. Japan might be small, but it was full of some pretty unhinged people. Idol fans could be especially intense. If the really obsessed ones found out where she lived, who knew what they might try? Mai sighed, surprised that he understood the darker side of her job so well. She hadn't been targeted herself, but she'd seen plenty of other idols get stalked or harassed after their addresses got out. Well, everything comes with a price. Mai was practical about her situation. No one had forced her into show business. She became an actress because she loved it. But to be perfectly honest, the main reason I live here is that my mother controls the vast majority of my finances. Although, Mai's face darkened as a bitter memory came to mind. What's wrong? Did you remember something bad? Kai already knew what she was thinking, but he pretended not to. No, I just... Mai shook her head instinctively. She paused, studying Kai for a moment before deciding to drop her guard. Is money really that important to people? She didn't act for money, she did it because she loved it. Since she started as a child actress, her mom became her manager. For years, every yen Mai made went straight to her mom's bank account. Mai never thought much of it. It was her mom after all. She wasn't materialistic. As long as she could live comfortably, she was happy. Until recently. I've already made her more than enough money. Yet, just to line her pockets a little more, she tried to force me into that kind of photo shoot. A few weeks ago, her mom set her up for a commercial shoot. Mai trusted her completely and didn't ask any questions. But when she arrived, she was shocked to find out it was for a revealing swimsuit and lingerie campaign. Mai had always relied on her acting skills and refused to do cheap fan service or anything degrading. Furious and betrayed, she walked out right away. Money makes the world go round, Kai mused. Knowing the anime's plotline, he was already intimately familiar with her family drama. It's important, but the lengths people will go to for it vary. So, what's your game plan? Once we fix your little invisibility problem, your mother is still legally your manager, right? In the original story, that deep feeling of betrayal made her want to disappear from the public eye. This strong urge to escape triggered her adolescent syndrome, which slowly made her vanish from reality. But in this world, her syndrome was probably caused by something even darker. You don't need to worry about that. The topic brought a triumphant smirk back to Mai's face. I'm officially a legal adult now. All I have to do is fire her and hire a new manager. When she was underage, she had no choice but to trust her family. Now, things were completely different. As for my mother, her voice faltered. Despite the betrayal, the woman was still her mother. Mai didn't have the heart to sever ties completely or drag her through a vicious legal battle. After a brief pause, her face stiffened. The fortune I've amassed over my career is more than enough to sustain her for the rest of her life. Her mom wouldn't live in luxury anymore, but she'd never have to worry about money. I didn't think you'd be so decisive. Honestly, I thought you might cry and ask me to save you from your evil manager, Kai teased, leaning against the wall. Not a chance. She was the upperclassman here, and there was no way she'd let this cocky underclassman look down on her. Well, here we are. How are you planning to get us inside? Don't tell me you know how to pick locks. Mai stopped at her front door and turned to him, curious about what he would do. I don't know the first thing about picking a lock. But as I said, I'm a jujitsu sorcerer. What did being a sorcerer have to do with opening a locked door? Was he just going to kick it down? Before Mai could say anything, a dark rift opened in the air behind Kai's shoulder. A grotesque, shadowy hand reached out from the void, slipped easily through the solid wood of the door, and unlatched the deadbolt from the inside. With a snap, the front door swung open. Very convenient, Kai smirked. Mai stared at him, speechless. She thought he'd use a hairpin or wire like a spy. She never expected him to use some creepy monster as a locksmith. I'm finally back. Mai stepped into her home and let out a relieved sigh. All right, go change your clothes first. If you keep walking around like that, I might not be able to control myself, Kai said. She was still wearing a tight bunny suit. The thought hit Mai all at once. Her face turned bright red, and she glared at him before running to her room to find some comfortable clothes. I am going to take a shower first. In Japan, bathing was almost sacred, and Mai hadn't had a good soak in days. Now that she was finally home, she really needed to wash away all the stress. Go ahead. Or were you inviting me to join you? Kai raised an eyebrow as if realizing something, then started following her. Well, if you insist, I can't say no. That's not what I meant. When he actually moved toward the bathroom, Mai blushed and pushed him back. She only said she was taking a shower to be polite, worried she might be holding him up. Once she saw he wasn't annoyed, she rushed into the bathroom, still a little scared he might actually try to come in. Right before slamming the door shut, she poked her head out to deliver a final warning. Don't you try to peek. Just listening to the sound of the water running is enough to fuel my imagination for a week. His shameless reply made Mai huff in anger. Her face was burning as she slammed the door. She leaned against the cool tile, needing a few minutes to calm her beating heart. She knew he was just teasing her for a reaction. Still, as the hot water filled the tub, she couldn't help but wonder if Kai really did come in, would she even be able to kick him out? He wouldn't actually come in, would he? Her hand hovered over the bathroom lock. After a moment, she pulled it back and left the door unlocked. Deep down, she felt a small sense of anticipation. Half an hour later, Mai came out of the bathroom in comfy pajamas. Kai was currently sprawled across her living room sofa, totally immersed in a mobile game. I'm finished. She let him know she was there, glaring at the back of his head. She couldn't believe it. He really stayed put. He was the biggest flirt she'd ever met, but he hadn't even tried to open the unlocked door. Did that mean he didn't find her attractive? She felt a wave of hurt pride and frustration. Take a seat, Kai said, either not noticing or just ignoring the dark mood coming from her. He pointed to the spot next to him on the sofa. Let's get down to business. Before this invisibility thing started, did anything weird happen to you? When he suddenly switched to being all business, without even a single flirty comment, Mai's ego took another hit. Her resentment only grew. Does he seriously have zero interest in me? Every 400 horsepower equals bonus chapter. 15 advanced chapters available on Patreon. https://p-atreon.com/dragons. Just remove the hyphen to access Patreon normally. Chapter 139, 139, Urban Legend, the Heavy Stone Crab. 1439 words. It made sense when she thought about it. With Sakiko Tagawa at home, and so many beautiful girls at his school, Kai was always surrounded by attractive people. Even though Mai had status and good looks, she didn't really stand out among them. It made sense that he wasn't head over heels for her. Thinking about it like that made her feel a little insecure. The hardest part was hiding it. If she showed her frustration, it would seem like she cared too much about getting his attention, and that was just too embarrassing. Mai swallowed her pride and tried to calm herself. Acting casual, she said, nothing exceptionally strange. Does begging a god for help count? Begging a god for help? Kai raised an eyebrow, a flicker of intrigue breaking through his calm demeanor. That made sense. In a world full of cursed spirits, the rules for Mai's adolescent syndrome were sure to be different from the original story. What kind of god? Seeing him take her answer seriously, Mai dropped her defensive act. I'm not entirely sure, but... She closed her eyes and tried to remember. It was right after she found out her mother had signed her up for that embarrassing lingerie commercial. Feeling heartbroken and betrayed, she ran away from the studio in tears. As she wandered, she came across an old, hidden shrine. Standing there, she made a tearful wish. I just don't want anyone to look at me anymore. Back then, it was just an emotional outburst, a quick and reckless wish made when she felt really vulnerable. She hadn't even taken it seriously. But now, looking back, the connection was obvious. Mai gasped, her face draining of color as she stared at him in disbelief. Since when do wishes at random shrines actually come true? If they did, everyone would just pray their problems away. Nothing is impossible, Kai replied. Which is exactly why you shouldn't make wishes lightly. Don't tell me gods actually exist in this world. In a universe this chaotic, it wouldn't be surprising if real gods existed. Even if they call themselves gods, they're nothing more than slightly stronger or more unique cursed spirits, Kai scoffed dismissively. To him, the title didn't matter at all. He hadn't come to this world to serve some overhyped god. If gods were real, they could either stay out of his way or deal with him. Cursed spirits. When she realized she might have begged a monster for help, Mai shuddered. The fear from meeting the slit-mouthed woman came rushing back. See, can it be fixed? She asked, her voice shaking a little. A cursed spirit that could grant wishes had to be strong. She looked at Kai, worried. Who do you think I am? Kai just shot her a flat, unimpressed look. He didn't offer any grand reassurances or boastful claims. His total confidence was all she needed to feel better. He was arrogant. Still, Mai had to admit that seeing him so calm made her feel grounded. It was like, no matter what kind of horror showed up, as long as he was there, she'd be okay. That's a pretty reassuring answer, Junior, she said with a small smile, teasing him to calm herself down. Kai didn't respond. He got up from the sofa and said, let's go. Mai asked, quickly getting to her feet. To the shrine where you made your wish, obviously. The sooner we finish this, the better. I have things to do, Kai said flatly. Things to do? You probably just want to get back to your girlfriend. Did he really dislike spending time with her that much? The thought made her chest ache again. What's wrong? Kai asked, noticing she hadn't moved. And nothing. She shook her head quickly, afraid he might guess what she was thinking. Forcing a bright, fake smile, she walked past him. I was just trying to remember where it was. Follow me. Kai smirked, clearly seeing through her act. Time ticked by. Following Mai's directions, Kai ended up in a deserted, overgrown part of the city. Calling this place a shrine was a stretch. It was just a ruined spot that had been abandoned for years. You really made a wish in a dump like this. It was lucky they got here before dark. If it had been nighttime, the gloomy, heavy feeling around the ruins would have scared off anyone. I told you, I was too upset to care where I was. She said, trying to defend herself. When she first found it, she could barely see through her tears. Now, coming back with a clear mind, Mai had to admit the place was really creepy. Why did she ever make a wish here? A cold breeze moved through the empty clearing, making the tall weeds rustle. The sudden cold made the hairs on Mai's neck stand up. She moved closer to Kai, her shoulder touching his arm. Being near him was the only thing that made her feel safe. Is there a cursed spirit here? She whispered. Yep, Kai confirmed with a simple nod. He tilted his head, locking his gaze directly onto the weathered boulder sitting on the pedestal. Seriously? Mai gasped. Startled by the confirmation, she immediately ducked completely behind his back, peering over his shoulder. "Isn't that a good thing?" Kai asked. "Think about it. If there's a cursed spirit here, it confirms your invisibility is tied directly to it. Exorcise the curse and your problem is solved. Simple, right?" Mai blinked blankly. She wanted to argue but nothing came out. He was right. His logic made sense. Still, the way he talked about fighting a monster made it sound as easy as taking out the trash. But then she remembered how easily he defeated the slit-mouthed woman. If he acted like this was a big deal, she'd probably be the one freaking out. "So what's the plan?" she asked. "Just stand there and stay quiet." She almost asked if he needed her to help distract the spirit, but his blunt order stopped her. She was just a normal person. She couldn't do anything against a curse. Mai sighed quietly and stayed behind him. "Not coming out?" Kai chuckled, staring at the unresponsive stone. He could sense the spirit inside, so it could definitely sense him too. But even though he was right there, the curse didn't react. It was either pretending to be gone, or didn't think he was a threat. Spider Woman. Kai didn't waste time talking. Even though he had more cursed spirits now, the Spider Woman was still his go-to. She was great at controlling crowds and had strong attacks, making her really useful. As soon as he gave the command, thick strands of black hair shot out from a rift, wrapping tightly around the boulder like fast-moving whips. The stone shook hard for a few seconds. Then, with a horrible ripping sound, a huge, translucent ghost was pulled out of the rock. What is that?" Mai's eyes went wide open in sheer terror. Afraid her voice might distract him, she quickly covered her mouth with both hands to muffle her scream. She pressed herself tightly against his back. "Just as I thought." The heavy stone crab, Kai thought when he saw the curse's real form. Like Sadako, the Spider Woman, and the slit-mouthed woman, the heavy stone crab was a vengeful cursed spirit created from an urban legend. But unlike Sadako, the heavy stone crab was a rare, local myth. The legend said it was a minor god that could answer prayers, but its blessings always came with a price. It would grant part of a wish, but take something important in return. Mai had wished to be a normal girl, and escape the pressure of being famous. The heavy stone crab granted her wish by taking away her weight, her presence, and existence, making her disappear from reality. As for its status as a god, Kai sneered. He thought it was nonsense. In Japan's crowded folklore, every little yokai or spirit claimed to be a god. The title didn't mean anything. Pulled out of its hiding place, the heavy stone crab thrashed around, trying to break free from the hair. It might not be much of a god, but it was still very strong. Slit-mouthed woman. Don't forget to drop some power stones. Every 400 horsepower equals bonus chapter. 15 advanced chapters available on Patreon. https://p-atreon.com/dragons. Just remove the hyphen to access Patreon normally. Chapter 140, 140, a special heavenly restriction. It's mine now. 12:50 for words. As soon as Kai spoke, the slit-mouthed woman appeared right behind him. Am I beautiful? The heavy stone crab stopped thrashing right away. The simple domain was working. The target was entirely paralyzed until they answered yes or no. It was an exceptionally effective crowd control technique. That split second of paralysis was all the Spider Woman needed to drag the massive entity directly to Kai's feet. A wish-granting curse technique. Not bad. It belongs to me now. The heavy stone crab's ability was risky for anyone making a wish, but the curse itself had no real downsides. Since its legend wasn't well known, it wasn't particularly powerful. Still, the technique made it worth catching. Cursed spirit manipulation. Kai activated the technique, and pulled the heavy stone crab toward him. Its huge body shrank and twisted, turning into a sparkling ball of cursed energy between his hands. He swallowed it, and the heavy feeling in the shrine disappeared, leaving only a strange, empty silence. Is it over? Mai asked, her voice shivering slightly. Mai already knew Kai was obscenely strong. She'd seen him defeat the slit-mouthed woman. But watching him destroy the heavy stone crab so quickly still gave her chills. Seeing his power made her heart beat faster. She couldn't help but feel drawn to that kind of strength. Was there ever any doubt? Kai called back the spider woman and the slit-mouthed woman. He turned to Mai with a confident smirk. Or did you think I'd have to fight a bloody battle to win, Mai-senpai? Mai quickly averted her eyes, unable to hold his intense gaze. I didn't say that. Kai thought her flustered reaction was adorable, and let out a quiet laugh. All in all, tonight had gone really well. Taking in the heavy stone crab didn't give Kai a huge boost in cursed energy, but getting such a flexible technique was a big win. After merging with the curse, he realized its power wasn't just about granting wishes. It worked just like a heavenly restriction. Like Toji Fushiguro, who gave up his cursed energy for incredible physical strength, the heavy stone crab's power was based on trading one thing for another. The scary part was that it could force these restrictions on others. Mai had unknowingly given up her presence in the world because she wanted to disappear. Even more, unless a sorcerer had more cursed energy than the user, they wouldn't even notice the technique was being used. Kai quickly thought of many sneaky ways to use the heavy stone crab's power. It was a dangerous technique. So can people see me now? Mai finally came back to her senses. With the cursed spirit gone, her invisibility should have ended. Not quite. Some curse techniques don't go away when the caster dies, and the heavy stone crab's curse was one of those. Victims stayed stuck in the restriction unless they had enough cursed energy to break it themselves. Otherwise, the heavy stone crab had to remove it. Mai stared in confusion. Before she could ask what he meant, Kai raised a hand. The translucent form of the heavy stone crab slowly materialized right behind him. What is that doing here? Seeing the monster again made her panic for a moment, and she stepped back. Then she remembered Kai had absorbed it, so it was under his control now. There was nothing to worry about. She noticed Kai watching her, obviously amused. You really are the worst, she grumbled, rolling her eyes. Do you enjoy watching girls make fools of themselves? If it's any other girl, I couldn't care less. But when it's you, Mai-senpai, I find it incredibly cute. He even shot her a deliberate wink. Mai tried to reply but couldn't get the words out. Her heart fluttered in her chest. She just couldn't keep up with his teasing. All right, let's fix your little problem. Kai hadn't expected her to answer back anyway. He gave a mental command, and the huge heavy stone crab leaned down over Mai. Even though she knew Kai was in control, having the monster so close was scary. But looking at Kai helped her calm down. A wave of cursed energy swept through the area. Moments later, the heavy heavenly restriction on Mai disappeared. Is that it? Mai looked at her hands. She didn't feel any different. Everything seemed just like before. We'll know for sure once we go outside and see if anyone notices you, Kai said with a shrug, not explaining any further. The easiest way to check was to say hello to a stranger. But she wasn't about to admit she was too flustered to think of that. She kept her head down and quietly followed Kai out of the shrine. Mai Sakurajima. It's Mai Sakurajima. Oh my god, it really is her. Can I get an autograph? Even though Mai trusted Kai, she felt nervous as they walked back into the city. But her worry disappeared almost right away. The quiet streets were fine, but as soon as they entered a busy area, someone recognized her. As a top teen idol, she had a huge fan base. In less than a minute, a crowd gathered, asking for photos and autographs. Being noticed again made her almost cry with happiness. But the growing crowd soon got overwhelming. She hadn't expected to be back in the spotlight so suddenly. She instinctively turned to him for help, only to find him standing safely outside the mob, arms crossed, enjoying the spectacle like he was watching a movie. What a jerk. But honestly, she wasn't surprised at all to see him acting so selfish. "Can I get an autograph?" a fan asked eagerly. Meeting the bright, expectant eyes of her fans, Mai forced herself into work mode. Oh, of course. The crowd kept getting bigger. After what felt like her 50th autograph, things were getting out of control. She loved her fans, but it was getting late, and the crowd was blocking the street. She gave Kai a desperate look, hoping he'd help her out. He just looked back at her, acting like he had no idea what she wanted. Mai finally had enough. She pushed through her fans, grabbed Kai's hand, and ran off with him as fast as she could. She's running away. Wait, is that guy her boyfriend? They look so cute together. By the time the crowd realized what was happening, Mai had already pulled Kai halfway down the street. Dozens of people took out their phones, snapping blurry pictures of her as she ran away with a mysterious boy. You did that on purpose. You just wanted to see me struggle. Mai said, out of breath after they finally got away from the paparazzi. Why would you think that? Kai asked, looking innocent. You seem to be enjoying the attention, Mai-senpai. I didn't want to interrupt. If he hadn't been wearing that infuriating smirk, she might have believed him. Still, dragging me out of there by the hand, aren't you worried about the rumors? Kai teased. A famous teen idol suddenly getting a boyfriend is going to break a lot of hearts. I might just end up as the most hated guy on the internet tomorrow. Don't forget to drop some power stones. Every 400 horsepower equals bonus chapter. 15 advanced chapters available on Patreon. https://p-atreon.com/dragons. Just remove the hyphen to access Patreon normally. Chapter 141, 141, Mai Sakurajima's mother. 1310 words. Given what just happened, it didn't take a genius to figure out the aftermath. His face, alongside Mai Sakurajima's, was going to be plastered all over the internet in record time. Is being my boyfriend really that embarrassing? Mai asked, her expression turning surprisingly serious. Do you hate me? She phrased it like a joke. But the look in her eyes betrayed her. She was bracing herself, legitimately afraid he might deliver an answer she couldn't stomach. I never said that, Kai said with a small laugh, surprised by how open she was being. If you're not worried about losing fans, Mai-senpai, then I don't care either. Fame and public opinion meant nothing to him. Did people honestly think his status as a jujitsu sorcerer was just for show? When she realized he wasn't rejecting her, Mai felt a huge sense of relief. She understood what he meant and smiled brightly. I'm an actress because I love acting. That's it. She didn't work her way up in show business for money or fame. She did it because she loved it. Losing fans over this scandal didn't bother her at all. The old Mai might have hesitated. But after everything she'd been through lately, she was tired of being careful. And besides, this was Kai. If that's how you feel, let's head back, Kai said, a soft smile touching his lips. We should go back. Her smile faded, replaced by a heavy sadness. It made sense her problem was solved, and now Kai would go back to his real girlfriend. He probably only helped because he felt bad for her. Honestly. What was I even hoping for? Those negative thoughts dragged her down, and she started to feel gloomy. Kai looked at her strangely. He noticed her mood change right away, and gave a small smile. He didn't say anything else, and just walked beside her in silence. They walked all the way back to Mai's house. At her front door, Mai put on a bright smile. She turned to him, acting like the cool older student. Thanks for walking me home. I'm safe now, so you should go back to your girlfriend. It's getting late. Isn't this what they call using someone and tossing them aside, senpai? Kai tilted his head, a sly smile on his face. His answer threw her off. She blinked, confused. Using someone. What do you? Before she could finish, Kai stepped closer, stopping her words. Once she finally found a gap to catch her breath, Mai stared up at him, totally bewildered. Aren't you going home to your girlfriend? She was sure he wanted to hurry back to spend the night with his girlfriend. Aren't I keeping her company right now? He said it smoothly, then let his actions do the talking. After everything he'd done tonight, just walking away would make him seem like a typical, overly nice anime protagonist. Shameless player. Mai managed to gasp out between breaths. She was right about him. He really wasn't going to let a beautiful girl get away. But when Mai looked into his eyes, she couldn't bring herself to resist. Instead, she awkwardly started kissing him back. Her phone kept buzzing on the counter, but neither Mai nor Kai wanted to answer it. The hours slipped by, pushing deep into the night. A sudden knocking shattered the intimate atmosphere inside the house. The knocking kept going. Whoever was at the door was impatient, hitting it harder and faster. I'm coming. Mai called. She quickly put on a robe and rushed to the door. Mai opened the door and froze in surprise. She hadn't expected to see her mother there so late. Why did it take you so long to open the door? Her mother snapped, her face dark with irritation. Then, her eyes dropped to Mai's legs. What's wrong with your feet? Kai had used reverse curse technique to heal her, but Mai asked him to leave some of the soreness so she could remember it. Because of that, she still walked with a slight limp, though it wasn't bad. And nothing. Mai shifted her weight awkwardly and looked away. Then she pulled herself together, frowned, and stared coldly at her mother. You still haven't said why you're banging on my door in the middle of the night. The old Mai would never have spoken to her like that. Her mother thought Mai was still upset about the lingerie commercial. Believing she was in control, her mother's harsh look softened a little. I'm here to ask about the circus on the internet. Who is that boy? You need to issue a statement immediately and cut all ties with him. Do you have any idea how many fans you've bled in the last few hours? While Kai and Mai were together, the internet went wild. Rumors about the teen idol's mystery boyfriend were everywhere. As usual in the idol world, as soon as a star was seen with a boy, lots of devoted fans started leaving. Her mother had rushed over in a panic to try to fix things. If they put out a statement saying Mai and Kai were just friends, maybe her career could be saved. Her mother didn't notice the cold look of disgust on Mai's face as she made her demands. Part of Mai had hoped her mother was worried about her. She thought maybe her mother missed her after weeks apart. Clearly, she was expecting too much. You don't need to worry about my career anymore. Her mother was about to explain her plan to fix things, but Mai's words stopped her cold. She stared at Mai in shock, unable to believe her daughter had just talked to her like that. Mai had planned out this conversation in her head hours before. But now, standing in front of her mother, she felt a heavy knot of guilt. No matter what, this was still her mom. But she couldn't go back to being used as a pawn. I said, you don't need to manage my affairs anymore. I'll be hiring a new manager. You're getting older anyway. The money we've made so far is more than enough for you to retire comfortably. Her shock turned to anger as she realized Mai meant it. Who do you think I'm doing all this for? Her mother snapped. Is this all because of that lingerie shoot? Do you have any idea how many girls would kill for a massive brand deal like that? When her mother still wouldn't admit she'd gone too far, Mai got even angrier. It's exactly because of that. Am I nothing but a product to you? You sold your own teenage daughter out for a paycheck. Do you even see me as a person anymore, or just a walking ATM? Her mother stepped back. She had seen the commercial as just another big opportunity. She never thought it would hurt Mai so deeply. Deep down, she felt a little regret. But her pride wouldn't let her admit it. She clenched her teeth and insisted, I am doing this for your own good. Even now, her mother wouldn't admit she was wrong. Mai felt disappointed. She readied herself and gave her final answer. Either way, I'm getting a new manager. You're done. Go enjoy your retirement. As long as you don't waste it, I'll make sure you have enough money. She was still her mother. Mai couldn't bring herself to cut her off completely or leave her with nothing. Don't forget to drop some power stones. Every 400 horsepower equals bonus chapter. 15 advanced chapters available on Patreon. https://p-atreon.com/dragons. Just remove the hyphen to access Patreon normally. Chapter 142, 142, You Wanted to See Me. 1331 words. Seeing how Mai was acting, her mother just couldn't believe her once obedient daughter had suddenly become so bold on her own. She blamed the boy in the paparazzi photos, convinced he must have brainwashed Mai. To her, it was the only reason Mai would start rebelling and trying to shut her out. Did he put you up to this? Her mother's voice grew shrill with rising hysteria. Where is he? Tell him to come out here right now. I want to speak to him face to face. She was set on exposing whatever scheme this boy was up to and pulling Mai back to reality. Mai shook her head and let out a tired sigh. It felt hopeless. Her mother was acting irrational and desperate. She started to argue, but the sound of a door opening stopped her. The bathroom door swung open, and Kai walked into the hallway with a white towel wrapped around his waist. You wanted to see me. He heard every word of their argument from the shower. At first, he didn't plan to get involved in their family drama. But since Mai's mother demanded to see him, he wasn't about to hide. He walked out, unfazed by the tension. Mai froze. She never thought he'd just walk out half-dressed in front of her mother. Even so, she didn't try to stop him. Why you two? Her mother understood right away. Seeing Kai come out of Mai's shower in just a towel made everything obvious. She'd tried to brush off the internet rumors as gossip that could be handled with PR. Now the truth was right in front of her. Her daughter wasn't just dating, she was sleeping with him. Do you have any idea what you're doing? Her mother's voice cracked, turning sharp and manic as she glared viciously at Mai. Are you trying to throw your life away exactly like I did? Before Mai's father, she'd been a naive housewife who believed in love. After he left and she had to raise Mai alone, she learned the hard way that love didn't last. Only money could be counted on. She spent years teaching Mai that lesson. She warned her over and over that men couldn't be trusted, and that she had to rely on herself. But even after all those warnings, Mai was making the same mistakes she did. This is my choice. Now that the secret was out, Mai stopped trying to hide it. She met her mother's angry glare with a steady, defiant look. He's the one I've chosen. I'll handle my own private life. I'm a legal adult now, and I'll take full responsibility for my own future. Her mother pointed a shaking finger at Mai, too shocked to speak. She never thought her calm, obedient daughter would act out like this. Kai stood off to the side, watching. He thought about stepping in, but the argument was too fierce for him to get a word. Who exactly are you? After a long, tense silence, her mother finally turned her angry glare on Kai. She had never even seen her daughter's secret boyfriend until now. She knew she had to question him, or she wouldn't be able to sleep. Kai cleared his throat, putting on a completely straight, serious face. I'm currently a high school student at Sobu High. There was no reason to mention he was a jujitsu sorcerer. She wouldn't get it anyway. When he called himself an ordinary student, Mai had to bite her cheek to keep from laughing. If Kai was ordinary, then no one was special. A student? Thinking she'd found his weakness, her mother scoffed coldly and looked at him with disdain. Do you even know what Mai does for a living? Do you know how tough the entertainment industry is? What could a regular high schooler offer her? She wanted to give him a harsh reality check and make him see he was out of his league. Most teenage boys would feel crushed by those words. But Kai didn't care about her insults. He was so thick-skinned that her words barely bothered him. Well, seeing as you just tried to force her into a degrading lingerie commercial, I'd say you haven't exactly been a massive pillar of support yourself, Auntie. Her mother choked on her words. It was a harsh truth she couldn't deny. She had been just an ordinary housewife. My success came from her own looks and talent. She was discovered on the street, and worked hard to earn her place. As a minor, Mai needed her mother to sign contracts, but that was her only real help. Her mother didn't provide any industry connections or resources. And what about you? Her mother snarled, her eyes flashing with vicious intent. Are you just planning to leech off her success like a parasite? Even if she hadn't helped much, she wasn't going to let this boy act superior. In Japan, society looked down on men who lived off their girlfriends, and most men would feel ashamed. That sounds like a fantastic plan. Kai clearly didn't have that kind of ego. Honestly, being a kept man has always been my dream. He turned to Mai and looked her straight in the eye. Mai senpai, would you be my sugar mommy? You're ridiculous. Mai couldn't believe he was joking right now. Half amused and half annoyed, she gave his arm a light slap. With a fond, exasperated look, she sighed, well, I guess I'll have to work harder. If I don't, I won't be able to afford you. Being Kai's sugar mommy. Oddly, the idea didn't seem so bad. She even felt a bit excited thinking about it. Her mother stared at them, stunned. She thought she could shame the boy into leaving, but he just accepted the insult, and Mai even agreed to support him. Had they both lost their minds? Aren't you afraid of what people will say? She shrieked. Why would I care what anyone says? Kai chuckled, but then his expression turned serious. Besides, who says I can't support my senpai? He liked to joke around, but when things got serious, he never backed down. I'm pretty sure if I made one phone call, every big company in Japan would rush to help me. Her mother stared at him, then burst out laughing in disbelief. Who do you think you are? Do you even know what a conglomerate is? What makes you think you have that kind of influence? Kai casually reached for his jacket slung over a nearby chair, pulling out a small black identification card. He flipped it open, revealing his official status as a special-grade jujitsu sorcerer. Her mother stared at the ID, completely lost. She had no idea what the title meant, or how much power it carried. But she wasn't foolish. Mai hadn't shown any doubt and stood by his side, showing complete trust. Her mother knew Mai was smart. If she wasn't being tricked, then this boy really did have the powerful background he claimed. If what you're saying is true. She hesitated, wrestling with her own conflicting emotions before finally caving. Then I'll stop interfering in your lives. She cared about money, but she still loved her daughter. Her need to save up came from deep fear. She knew they had no real support in the industry. Mai's success was built on luck and talent, but the entertainment world was harsh and always looking for younger, prettier girls. She was always afraid Mai would be replaced. She wanted to save enough so they'd be safe if that ever happened. But if Mai really had someone powerful behind her, all those fears didn't matter anymore. Deal, Kai agreed. Don't forget to drop some power stones. Every 400 horsepower equals bonus chapter. 15 advanced chapters available on Patreon. https://p-atreon.com/dragons. Just remove the hyphen to access Patreon normally. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Novels Wonderland.